Hello, everybody. Hey, this is Gail here, and we are here for our Tuesday talk. And today it's going to be on women aging with confidence. My passion is to empower women 60 plus to help them transform their fears and their doubts into strengths so that they may live their desired life that they're wanting to live. And I want every woman to awaken your glow and just let vitality flow. So today we're going to talk about confidence in women as we age. Because, and I'm in a hotel room and my husband's on a conference call outside on the patio and I'm in the room doing mine. So I hope that we don't, I hope that you can't hear his talking. Anyway, so today we are going to talk about confidence in aging because I know as I have gotten older, sometimes I don't quite have the confidence that maybe I used to have when I was younger. And I know that that is something that a lot of women that are, I'll say 55 and older struggle with. And it happens more as we get older. And it's really perfectly normal. It is normal. But I wanted to tell you about really and truly how we have to shift the narrative, right? Women's aging is going to be different than men's aging. And their mindset is different than our mindset. So as a woman approaches middle age, they go through conflicting stages. They go through feelings that they're not sure how to navigate. We go through menopause, right? And, we start from our teens, from being little ones to elementary to junior high to high school to college, and then 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. And so I know when I was in my 50s, I definitely went through a lot of lack of confidence. My body changed, my whole body format changed, if you want to say format, but my whole body shape changed. And I can remember, I'll tell you a real quick story. I can remember being we lived in California at the time, and being in a dressing room, and I was trying on some clothes, the same kind of clothes I would always try on. And I got in there and I had jeans and I had shirts and I had all this cool stuff and I was trying it on and everything I put on looked like crap. And I looked at myself and I just thought, what is going on? What is going on with me? What is wrong with my body? My body was changing. I was going into the menopause phase of my life. And I didn't, I was like, okay. My mom never talked about it because, our mothers never talked about that kind of stuff back then. But I realized back then that I had to change something. I couldn't wear the same kind of clothes I was wearing. They didn't fit me right. I literally I was staring at myself in the dressing room mirror, and I started crying. And it brings tears to my eyes right now because I know how I beat myself up over it. And there was no need to beat myself up over it because it was a normal thing, right? We all go through it. There's not any of us women that don't go through it. So I walked out of there that day and I felt like shit. I did not have a good self-image. My confidence was gone. I thought, why would anyone look at me again? Why would my husband even want to look at me? It was just one of those things where I was just like, okay, fine. Well, then I was like, I don't know, a couple months later, a special event was coming up and I needed to lose weight. So I had to change my mind. I had to change my thinking. And so what I did was I started eating better, and I went on a low-fat diet and cooking healthier. I started working out at the gym every day. I worked out at home. I did Pilates, and I got myself back down to the body shape that I was beforehand. And I was so happy about it. I was just, I had my confidence back. So I want to tell you a quick story, and I'm going to read it because this is really a cool story. And this is about Amelia Earhart. Amelia Earhart, back in December of 1920, she was paid to go on her first airplane ride. And the experience lasted only 10 minutes, but it changed the direction of her life. She was determined to be a pilot, and she didn't care. It didn't matter to her that there were very few women in the aviation field. She didn't care. Though through hard work and challenging conditions, she developed her skills, and she developed confidence. And while other female pilots feared the long journey of going across the transatlantic, she embraced it. And so she was determined. She was going to be the first woman to cross over and fly on that long journey. And she was the first woman to fly solo. The confidence that she possessed was one of the greatest strengths and led her journey to many, many records. And so there's a lot there's more to this story, but I won't read it all. But there's a lot to be said in the little bit of a paragraph right there. How we have to, as women, as we are older, we have to step into it. We have to get our power back. We have to step back into the confidence that we used to have when we were younger. And so this is very important. The female confidence, they're challenged with so many things, and one of them is imposter syndrome. And it's that's a big deal. And so frequently women are expressed that they don't feel like they deserve a job, and they feel like they're imposters. Well, it turns out men kind of feel the same way. And so it's not just women that feel that way. It's men that feel that way too. So they're not exempt from it, even though we think that they are, right? We think, oh, they're the stronger, more dominating species. And that's not true. That's not. And so they found that more women actually worry about being disliked, appearing unattractive, and outshining others, or grabbing too much attention. So this was a study that was done by, who was it? Zinker Folkman. And he did research that showed that women's experiences increases over time, so does her confidence. Let me say that again. Women's experiences increased over time increases their confidence. And the more confidence you have, the more you're going to do things over and over again. Take doing a live, for instance. There's many people, many women that won't go live on their videos. They refuse to go live because they're scared. They don't have the confidence, and they have that self-doubt. And we can't have that. We've got to be able to have the confidence to move forward and to gain what we want in our future. I am 70, I'll be 71 this year, and I probably have more confidence now than I did when I was 20 or 30. And it's not always just life experience. I do agree life experience does it. I really do. I really think that that's a huge part of the feeling of it. But building self-confidence is, there's steps to build self-confidence. So I'm going to give you just a couple because there's a whole list of them. And so one is your mindset. And so it is said that if you don't have the self-confidence, what you think about yourself, and self-esteem is what you think others think of you, to build one's confidence. It has been said that self-confidence is what you think about yourself, and self-esteem is what you think others think of you. Okay? So to build self-confidence. So you want to focus on your strengths, focus on what you possess, focus on your achievements, focus on things that you don't, focus on the things that you do well. Don't focus on the things you don't do well, because none of us can do everything perfect. So guard against negative self-talk. Radiate optimism. Be happy. Generate happiness. When you bring happiness into the room, happiness comes to you and everyone can see it. They can see the happiness. They can see the glow. They can see your energy ignites. Our spirit, our soul is energy. And so you realize when you walk into a room, or when someone walks into a room and you realize, people look at them and they're kind of drawn to them. Why is that? Why? Because they have confidence. And you can have the confidence too. So, energy is so important. We have to keep our energy up. And so if you've got that energy, then you've got that glow. And I know you have it. And I know it's in there. If it's not showing right now, by golly, we're going to pull it out. I've got a 5-day challenge coming up March 3rd, and we're going to go over, every day, we're going to go over 5 different topics. One of them is going to be confidence. And so you're going to be confident by the time you're done with my program. And so we want to radiate it, right? You want to radiate optimism. People are attracted to those who are perceived as warm and happy. And so if you shy away, which I have to say, I sometimes shy away. We were just at some friend's house here in Florida, and we were going to her brother's birthday. It was a little drop-in party, and I didn't know anybody. Didn't know anybody except the couple I was with. And so I walked in, my husband and I walked in, and we just kind of stood off to the side, because it was not a huge room that we were in either. And so we just kind of stepped off to the side and we talked, to the people that, the couple that brought us, right? And there were a couple people that came by and said hi, and I introduced myself and I shook their hands and we spoke. But it was just very brief. It was not a conversation or anything like that. So you want to have that self-confidence to where you can go into a room of strangers and you can say, hi, my name is Gail. How are you today? And put your hand out and shake their hand. That is called posture. So when you posture up, you're standing tall, your shoulders are back, your head's lifted, you have a smile on your face, you're attractive, you are beautiful, you are radiant. And those people will pay attention. They'll watch and they'll pay attention. So this is really important. So make eye contact with people. That conveys confidence in yourself. Facial expression. If you go around with a mad face on all day long, do you think anybody's going to want to come up and talk to you? Probably not. Unless they're just one of these really, really friendly, happy-go-lucky, nothing bothers them in the world. And they go up to you and they smile. And maybe you smile back. And so, that's one of the best things you can do for somebody that's grumpy is give them a compliment. And then once you give them a compliment, just watch their face. Be surprised. Their face will all of a sudden have a little bitty smile on it. and their eye might even have a little twinkle. I do that sometimes when I go through the drive-thrus, because some of those women, or the people that are through the drive-thrus, they're kind of grumpy, you know, because they deal with all kinds of people. And your overall mannerism is very important, and how to behave and transmit a feeling of confidence to others is, you know, walk briskly, walk fast. I walk fast anyway, but, you know, kind of walk fast. And then, you know, some other things is laugh, you know, be happy, tell jokes, get someone's attention, just be pleasant, speak up. If you're in a meeting, don't be afraid to speak up. Raise your hand. Ask a question, because chances are someone else in that room has the same question. And you know, we're told this when we're kids in school. And I have to tell you, I'm going to be honest, I would not. If I got called on, I felt like one of those little flowers on the wall, and I would just shrink down. I was like, oh, I don't want attention drawn to me. I don't want to answer that question. You know, because what if I'm wrong? Oh my God, what if I'm wrong? And I give the wrong answer, and then someone makes fun of me. Well, there goes my self-confidence, right? So you really want to speak up for yourself and interact with people. So if you're in a meeting, then don't sit quietly. Go into the discussions, ask, be active, and participate. Also, your speech is so important. What you say and how you say it, what your tone is, it delivers a lot of confidence. And so it's how you shape yourself, right? So project your voice. If you talk quiet and meek, then they're not going to hear you. And then they're going to think, okay, she's shy and quiet. So you want to make sure that you project your voice so that you can be heard and understood. And vary the pitch. Have your pitch go up and down, you know, and have feelings in your conversation. Have feelings in your pitch and what you're talking about. Don't be monotoned, because when you're monotoned, how many of us have sat into a lecture or a conference or something, and the speaker has a very monotone, stays on the same level all the time? It's boring. It's boring. And so I get sleepy. And so I'm just like, okay, I really wish they would add some humor. They would do something, right, to kind of get me awake. And so you want to use a rich vocabulary, and you also want to avoid non-words such as or I'm going to confess, I use a lot. And I go back and I watch my lives, and I'll hear myself, and I'll think, yeah, I need to work on that. So I've been working on that. So practice. That's the best way to do it. It's just practice. And so the other things too are, you know, when women are in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, you know, we want to feel confident. And sometimes we were used to having that male attraction, right? And as we've gotten older, sometimes we feel invisible. And so that makes our confidence go away. We feel like no one's paying attention to us. No one sees us anymore. Are we worthy anymore? What is it? Do people even need us anymore? You know, we were the soul keepers of our families. I mean, we took care of everybody. We did it all. And then all of a sudden it's all over, right? And so it's just like, you know, realize that you are confident. You're beautiful. You're wonderfully made. God made you, and you are perfect just the way you are. And so if you are trying to gain that confidence as you've gotten older, we want to go ahead and do that. It's so important to do it. And there's you want to feel confident in everything that you do. You know, some tips, just a few tips. Wear comfortable clothing. You know, you don't have to dress like a teenager, but you don't have to dress like a grandma, like our grandmas. You don't have to dress like that anymore. You can have quality over quantity. Pick your life that has quality over it. Don't number your days. Don't do that. It's like, okay, what day is it today? Oh, okay, this day I have to do this, and this day I have to do that. It's great to have a plan because it helps you not procrastinate. But you want to feel good about yourself. So if you're going out, dress, wear something nice, add some accessories, pay attention to detail. Have fun. That's the most important thing, is just have fun. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. I am going to be doing more in depth of this in my challenge. And it's a 5-day challenge, and I'm going to be doing that on March 3rd. And I would love for you guys to join me. If you are wanting to get in on the challenge, please let me know, and I will just drop me below, and I will get you the link so that you can register. Like I said, it is free. It's a 5-day challenge of just do it. Step into your power. Because women, ladies, we have power. And it doesn't matter if we're 60 years old or older. We do. We have it. And we're going to talk about aging. We're going to talk about confidence. We're going to talk about imposter syndrome. We're going to talk about how to get out of the ruts we're in. Talk about procrastination. We're going to talk about how to socialize again. Because as you get older, we forget how to socialize. You know, it's almost like we revert back to being a kid again, and we're afraid to speak up. We're afraid to say hi. We're afraid to invite somebody over for coffee, or invite them over for a book club or a Bible study. We get afraid. And so it's real important that we step into our power. So I hope you'll join me. Just let me know. Drop me below if you want in, and I'll be happy to get you the link. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And remember to awaken your glow and let vitality flow. I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.